What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today we got a nitro engine here. We did disassemble this nitro engine right here, and then we fired it up right on this board right here. Ran pretty good. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the same thing with this nitro engine. We're gonna tear it all apart. It's jammed up a bit, so I might have to lubricate inside. So we're gonna tear the whole engine apart here, and we're gonna reassemble it. And let's see if this baby cranks up. We're gonna start by removing this carburetor right here. Just one little screw right in this side here, and let's see if this baby budges. And she does not want to move at all. Let's leave that alone. Let's start taking off the head bolts. Once we're done with this baby, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it on that letter board. And we're gonna fire this baby up as well. And there's our head with 4 screws and the glow plug in there. Gonna leave this baby alone just like that. We got this muffler here. We got springs on it. Let's see if we can pop this baby off. We don't want to damage those springs. And I might get a small needle nose if this doesn't work, but I'm good with this guy right here. So what I might do is I might submerge this in some type of cleaner, and we'll clean this engine up and keep it on the display. So there's our 2 springs, and we got our engine block here. But let's see if this baby budges. Okay, this carburetor does not want it budge whatsoever, but there you go. Just had to loosen up that bolt. Once you loosen that bolt up, this baby should come off. And they put some kind of sealer on it. Well, I bought this engine used, so there's a seal here. So I'm gonna clean this baby up really, really well. So that seal's gotta stay there always. If you don't have that seal there, you're gonna have some type of leak, vacuum leak. So let's not let none of this dirt go in there. And no idea what the hell is all this on it. So this is the board for the muffler, and what we're gonna do next is let's take a look at this clutch as well. Okay, let's see what's inside that. But I need to go grab a flathead screwdriver. Let's see if this. Usually there's a thread lock on this, so this might not even open up. Oh, got lucky. And this is well built, this one, compared to the other one. The other one had issues with the bearing, so this is solid. So let's put this right here. The clutch housing. The gear comes right off. There's a bearing in there, perfect. And then we got washers, spacers, and bearings. Okay, so here's our clutch. The clutch doesn't look so good, but we're going to leave the clutch alone. Okay, we do need to take off the retainer here to take that clutch off. We're gonna remove this plate in the back, the pull start. That's what I meant by the plate. And there's 4 screws on this guy. Two on the bottom, 2 on the top. One more on this side. And our pull start comes right off. There's a small little spring over here. So this is the same setup as, I don't know what kind of engine this is, if anybody knows. I'm not a fan of them, and while this particular engine, I'm not a fan of it. And this guy comes off. And we got 4 more little screws back here. What I mean by fan of it is it's just a different setup, okay? But I like, it's nothing bad, nothing against it. Different setup than usually what I see. Okay, so far looking good. We're looking good. One. This is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. We're gonna take off this plate in the back. Okay, slowly. Okay, I might have to push it. It's moving already, but it has a seal to it, so it needs to come out perfectly straight. A little bit from each side. Okay. It's almost out. There you go. And there's a big seal back here, so make sure that seal goes where it belongs. Right there, it's a little O-ring. Very important. Okay, we got a bearing in here. This is a one-way bearing. Okay, so meaning by one-way bearing is when you pull your start, it turns, but it can turn reverse freely. But turning this way, we'll have to turn the whole engine. So inside here we have our crank. We got a piston rod, all in there. But what we need to do here is we need to push. We need to push the sleeve out. Sleeve has to come out. Sleeve has a small little notch right here. The notch has to meet the sleeve and the block here. So otherwise you'll be installing it wrong. So there you go. Sometimes this sleeve won't come out. Then you can heat around a bit and it will come out. But this is looking good so far. It's pretty dirty. So I'm going to take my time cleaning this baby. Okay. It's been sitting. So what happened, my piston got seized up on this, so it came out pretty easy, but it was not moving. It was not budging. Okay. I think we do have an issue here. Okay, it's the crank. It's not even the piston, it's the crank. You see that? The crank doesn't want to move. Okay, we're gonna make that crank move. It's pretty seized up. Okay, there you go. It does not want to turn. It does turn, but it's very stiff. Okay, we might have to take off the bearings on this one. Usually I don't. So once you take off the sleeve, you should be able to pull the crank forward, but it has to be it has to be right up on the top, and it will come off. It will come off. Let me use something. There you go. And once it's off, we should be able to get this guy to come up. The piston comes right off. It falls right out. So the piston itself has taken a lot of beating. Okay, piston has taken a lot of beating. The piston has a small, the rod has a small little hole right there. Okay, that hole has to always face front of the block. I mean, front of the engine like that. Okay, when you install it, it has to be facing forward because the oil goes in and lubricates the journal and the small little bearing in there. All right, so the issue he's having was this. You see this? It's very stiff to turn this baby. We're gonna get this baby to work, okay? No worries. So I didn't want to take all this apart, but I guess we're gonna have to take it all apart. We're gonna have this baby running in no time. You guys are gonna have to stay tuned to see if this baby does run after all this dismantling. And it's like a rebuild of a engine. You don't know what's gonna happen with your engine, you know, so you need to usually take it apart. Okay, I can't get this heat retainer off. It's gonna have to come off. Buddy, you're gonna have to come off because you got nothing. Oh, there you go. It went flying. I got it. Ah, that will happen. There's your retainer. The clutch comes off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on a table, and we're gonna remove this little guy. So let's see if one of my sockets fit here. Where did all of my sockets go? Okay, so this is pretty much. It's a very tight little spot. Alright, so I'm going to put this on the table and I'm going to remove this baby and we'll be right back. Just to show you guys before I go, usually this will still, like when I come back and I do this to it, it should just spin freely, really free. My bearings are seized up over here. There's a lot of going on in here. There's a whole bunch of it's all clogged up in here. I don't know the person who had it. I don't know what he was doing with it. Plastic got in, something melted in there. Okay, so I don't even have to put this on the table. It pretty freely, it came apart. This guy comes off, and this will come off. And let's see what's bothering us. So I'm gonna put this back on to tap this guy bit with this little guy. Ooh, this thing is really, really seized up in there. Supposed to come right off, but this thing is completely seized, so it can't be my bearing, that's for sure. There's a small little spacers here. Small little spacer right here. Let's remove the spacer and we leave it with this baby right here. Okay, come on. Either this engine's gonna die. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. Okay. We shouldn't be able to kill this engine completely. We should be able to. Just by hitting it, I just don't want to damage the engine just because I'm hitting it. If that occurs, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so seems like there's water in here. The bearing in there, I'm gonna have to lubricate the crap out of that bearing. The bearing inside there, I could see it's half good, half not. Like it has water on it, so that's the problem there. That's the bearing, okay. And all this bearing was sitting right here on this edge, and you can see this is all like look like it's corroded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna soak this up in lubrication, and I'm gonna clean up most of the pieces, and then we'll put it back together. But anyways, this is gonna be it for now. Thank you for watching on this disassembly, and we will do another video on assembly on this guy, and then we will do another video of running this baby on this board here, if it runs. Thank you for watching for now.